Through the powers of the internet, we are travelling all the way to Doncaster, a little bit closer to home than Australia. We last met him over there. Josh Macdonald, nice to see you, Josh. How are you doing today?
Yeah, not bad. Well, as good as what it can be at the moment, but pretty good.
It is so frustrating for everybody at the moment. We're all feeling it. And I guess for yourself, one of the most important things is to be race trained ready for when that call comes, you're back racing again.
Yeah, that's a massive thing, I reckon, to try and stay fit at the moment and keep ready instead of eating out the pantry and watching Netflix all day long.
Now, you did tell me before we started that your base over here in the UK is with a former pirate of last year, Ricky Wells. Are you competitive off track? Who wins a running race?
Ricky's a lot better runner than me. I'll happily admit that. I'm shocking at it, but we kind of set out like a home workout to do every day, and we give each other a good run at that.
Well, we've seen a couple of those clips as you've been talking about you doing your training. And when you are able to go outside, you're making the most of the weather to get some good runs in.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been good here. It makes it a bit disappointing, actually, because the weather's so nice and we haven't had much rain, and it's perfect speedway weather at the moment. But yeah, when I can get outside, I like to try and go for a run and enjoy the day as much as I can.
A few questions here from the Pirates fans have come in again. So Barry Rigger on Facebook, he says, who did you enjoy watching when you were young, and who would you aspire to be?
I enjoyed watching. When I was young, I used to go to the speedway with my cousin a lot, cousin Smith. So I always went to meetings with him. So I always watched him from a young age, and the second part of it, inspired to be. It's a bit of a tough one. It's hard to say you want to be exactly like someone, because everyone's each to their own, really.
So we got a question here from Peter Cross on Twitter. This is a good question. He says, can you name your dream Australian team, including yourself? So 6 other riders that you would put together for the dream team. And who would you most like to be in a race with out of those other 6 riders?
Oh, if I had to go to dream team, I'd say I'd have Crumpy in it, or Jason Crump, Jason Doyle, Max Frick, Darcy Ward, Lee Adams. I don't know how many have I got there. We'll just.
I think you got one more.
I'll go Mason Campton.
That sounds like a pretty good team. And if you have to pick one of those to go up for in a deciding heat, who would you like to be coming out the traps as your partner?
I'd have to go Lee.
Lee Adams.
Yeah, he's class on a bike, I reckon.
Sam Humby, he says, which former pirate have you been most inspired by? You've mentioned Lee Adams there. Lee was a great pirate over here for many years, so I suppose that kind of answers that question. Do you know Lee well?
Yeah, I know Lee pretty good. I stayed down in Mildura with Jordan Stewart a couple of years ago and spent a bit of time down there, so I've got anyone from Mildura I really got to know pretty well down there, so when I see Lee, we usually have a bit of a chat.
Now, we're going to head over to Instagram. Someone you may know, Taylor Lanning. He's certainly making himself a name in the sport at the moment with his fantastic photography. Taylor asked, favourite track in the UK? Which one is it?
I'd have to go either Sheffield or Redcar. I always enjoyed riding Sheffield, and the first meeting I done at Redcar, I liked the track straight away.
Kind of links into the next question by Ross Bennett. He says, do you research the tracks before you ride them? I guess you look them up on YouTube and try and watch them, or do you ask the other riders that you know?
Yeah, if I haven't been there before, sometimes I YouTube them just to get a rough idea, but I was pretty lucky. I've holidayed over here a fair few times before I actually signed with Sheffield last year, and I got to go to a fair few of the tracks before I even rode them, so I had a rough idea most places I went to.
We got another question here from Instagram. Wallace, he says, who's the best mechanic you've ever had? You've got to be careful here.
I'd have to go I'd have to go to Mason Campton. He helps me when I'm back home, and he tells me straight the whole time, and he's pretty good.
From a rider's point of view, if you've got a mechanic with you that actually was a rider himself or is a rider himself, does that make a big difference?
Yeah, I guess it depends how they are. It's always good to it's always good to have someone in your corner who's raced before, because you might think it's you might think it's doing one thing, but with another set of eyes, it could be doing the complete opposite. And yeah, if they're harsh enough, they'll just tell you straight, and it always, I reckon, it sometimes works out better.
If you're stood in the pits there watching your teammates going round, can you notice changes in how the bikes are picking up by the sound of the engines as they come off the corner, or is it more visual, or is it audio as well?
There's a lot, you hear a fair bit of it. Obviously, if someone's bike's revving a fair bit, or it's being lazy, there's a big difference between that. And then, I reckon a lot by sound you can pick up, and then obviously you can see it too if it's not doing what it should be.
Here's another technical question for you. Tyre pressures. Does that make a big difference? Sometimes we see on some slow-mo screenshots that the tyres they're almost flat, and other times they're pumped right up. So how much does that affect your riding?
It makes a big difference. You're not going to get far around the track with no air in your back tyre. But same if you have 30 psi in the back tyre, it wouldn't do its job. But it makes a bit of a difference with weight. Like the weight of a person can probably run a bit more tyre pressure. Like if someone's lighter, they could run less than, say, someone who's got 20 kilos on them.
So it is definitely something that you guys think about.
Yeah, especially like even tracks you go to, it changes. Like you could sometimes put more pressure in the back wheel to make it spin more, or make it spin easier, where if it say if it hasn't got enough tyre pressure in it, there's more of the tread on the ground, so it's driving harder.
And of course, coming back to Wimborne Road, Paul, a track that you've seen, is it a track that you like? Is it going to suit your style? Are you looking forward to getting out there?
Yeah, I like the shape of the track. It's I reckon it's a track I like. I'm looking really forward to getting out there. I wish it could have been sooner, but sadly it can't be. I'm eager to go make the trip down to Poole and do as much riding as I can as soon as possible.
Well, thank you very much for answering our questions and some of the questions that are on social media as well. Keep up the training, stay safe, that's the most important thing. We're all going to wait this one out, and as soon as we can, we are going to be back on that track and we'll be enjoying our speedway again.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Take care, stay safe.
Stay safe, everyone. Cheers.